everyone, this is Ron with NeoWin, and today we're taking a look at the OPPO Watch. You've probably heard of this one, possibly not for the best reasons. Obviously, looking at the design, it's very strikingly similar to the Apple Watch, which is unfortunate, I guess. So, a couple of things to get straight. I didn't really like the copied designs, especially as blatant as this. But the thing is, for me, is as much as it pains me to say it, I really like the design of the Apple Watch. And we didn't really have anything like that in the Android world. So to have this now actually is kind of cool to me. Also, for me, one of the big things that stands out when you look at an Apple Watch is the rotating crown, which this watch doesn't have. So there's that. But still, obviously, very, very similar design. That's probably going to be a turn-off for some people, and that's okay. So let's just go ahead and take a look at it right away. So this is the 46mm version. It does come with both 46 and 41mm versions. So we're just gonna set this. Actually, let's not set it aside just yet. 46 and 41mm versions, and the 46mm version also comes in an LTE variant with eSIM support. It's not the case for mine though. This is just Wi-Fi. Before we take a look at the watch, you can also check out what's inside the box. You can see here the pin charger. There's 4 pins there. That's gonna be used obviously for charging the phone. That's the charging cable, which I think is micro USB. I'm actually not. Oh, it's not micro anything. It's, yeah, never mind. Why would it be micro USB? It's the cable is directly connected to the base, so you don't get the chance to unplug it, and there's no USB connector there. So the watch itself, this version actually comes in 2 colors. You can get it in either black or glossy gold, and obviously the design is very similar. Let's take this out. Very similar to the Apple Watch right away. It's got this very glossy glass on top. It curves around the edges, mounts really nicely into the casing. There's speakers here. On this side, there's 2 buttons. The top one is the home button, and the bottom one is the multifunction button. And it has a green highlight that OPPO really likes to use. Also on their phones, if you see the power button on the OPPO Reno 4 Pro here, it is the same sort of deal. So then, of course, we have the sensors here, the heart rate sensor and the pin connector for charging. And this is already kind of dirty. And these are the strap release buttons here, so it's pretty easy to take out the straps in this and switch them out. One criticism I've seen for this is that it's a proprietary connector, so you're not going to be able to find third-party bands on that easily. They have to be designed specifically for this watch. I'm actually not that familiar with the ecosystem of smartwatches, so I don't know how uncommon that is to have that sort of proprietary watch band connector. But I will say that I really like how easy it is to pull them out and back in. So that's really simple. Like I said, you can get in black and glossy gold if you go for the 46mm version like this. But if you get the smaller 41mm, there are actually 4 color options. And there's also pink, gold. Actually, there's only 3. Sorry. There's pink, gold, and silver mist, and then you don't get the glossy gold option for the 41mm. So on this 46mm model, you do get a 1.91-inch display. It's rectangular, as you can tell. It's 402 by 476 pixels, so that's a 326 ppi pixel density. So that's actually pretty nice. And obviously it's a square display like the Apple Watch. It's AMOLED. The casing is aluminum, 6000 series aluminum. Here it uses on the back it uses plastic and ceramic according to the spec sheet, and this is rubber, of course. The battery inside is 430 milliamp hours, which I think is sizable for a smartwatch, and that promises up to 36 hours of battery life in smart mode, which is when it's running Wear OS. But if you want to save power, you can switch it to power saver mode, and that promises up to 21 days of battery life, which is pretty good. And in power saver mode, you still get notifications, you can still tell the time, and I think it still does some fitness tracking, but not as, it's not as extensive as you would get in smart mode. But still, there is some functionality there, and getting notifications is personally one of my biggest use cases for something like this. So I could see that, but of course, smart mode is much more compelling. It also has two chipsets inside. So there's the Snapdragon Wear 3100 and the Apollo 3 something. I'm not completely sure of the name. But the Apollo 3 chipset is the one that it uses in power saver mode, so for more efficiency, and then it uses the Snapdragon Wear 3100 for smart mode. It's also worth noting that this processor, the Snapdragon Wear 3100, was announced last year, so it's not super recent, and Qualcomm has already announced the successor, the 4100. But that's not available on any smartwatch yet, so I can't really blame OPPO for that. The thing is, the 4100 is going to be a major upgrade in terms of performance and just about everything. So it's in a bit of a tough position now to have that older chipset when the much better one is on the horizon. But still, it should be fine. And the 3100 did bring some improvements in battery life, so that should be good. But of course, you'll have to test that out. Speaking of the battery, though, the charger here, it's using OPPO's VOOC technology. So you've seen that in phones. Most of them have the VOOC Charge 4.0 nowadays, or you can have Super VOOC, like the Reno 4 Pro here has that as 65 watts. And this is what they call Watch VOOC, and this promises 15 minutes of charging will get you 50% of battery life, and that should last you, according to them, for the entire day. They say it's 16 hours, assuming 16 hours is your day of use, then this should last you the entire day with those 50%, according to the spec sheet. Obviously, there's also water resistance here, up to 5 atmospheres. So that's also very nice. So we're gonna go ahead and try to turn it on. So we just finished pairing the watch with my phone, an Android phone, by the way. And now we're just gonna go ahead and try to see how this whole thing works. So from what I understand, every time with any Wear OS phone, they give you this sort of tutorial to know how the thing works. So let's swipe this way first. So if you swipe left, like I did now, you get this daily activity. This is an OPPO thing, actually, because I believe usually in Wear OS, when you swipe left, you go immediately to your tiles, and in this case you don't. In this case you get this I guess maybe you can consider this a tile. You get this daily activity with your steps, workout time, and all of that, and then you swipe left again, and then you start seeing the rest of your tiles. This is all you got to do it. This sleep tracking, and just you can touch and hold to, of course, see more of them. So you can see all of them, and then you can add more, or you can just go back, which is what I'm going to do right now. So now we're going to try to swipe up, and this brings up the notifications. So there's also those. You can tap on them to expand them, and you can collapse or swipe them to send them away, which is very cool. I like swipe gestures a lot. So now you're gonna swipe right. That's the Google Assistant. It gives you some weather stuff. You can ask for things and just, I don't know why this quote is here, but good on them. Now you swipe back to the home screen and then you swipe down. Whoops, there you go. And you get this, the quick actions here, airplane mode, sound, and all of that. And this is, I guess, where a lot of the design is inspired by ColorOS. So it does look a little bit like that. So here we can press this button for apps. There you go. So the app drawer looks like that. It's a square. Of course, it's a grid. And it's got this really cute design, I think. At least I like it. Let me just dismiss that. Okay, so it's still going with the tutorial. I wasn't ready for that. So watch faces, you can choose a bunch of them. You can use photos. Oh, this one is interesting. So this is one of the features that OPPO also advertises here, which is the AI outfit. So if you use your phone to take a picture of what you're wearing, okay, we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's just go back to where I was. If you take a picture of what you're wearing, it will recognize the colors of your outfit and then apply them to the watch face. It'll create a watch face based on what you're wearing, and then it's supposed to create like a more unified sense of fashion, I guess. So that's an interesting one. But of course, there are other options. You have this one that shows your photos. This balloon one, I think it lets you pop the balloons by tapping them. And the balloons turn red if you're wearing the watch and your heart rate gets too high. All the balloons turn red to, I guess, to let you know that you need to rest. So as I was trying to show you, the app drawer is this sort of 3x3 grid, but it's got this really interesting design, I think, where you see the little circles down here. So those are the next 3 apps. So it just shows them like that, and as you scroll, the top row goes into that, and the bottom row is also there. It looks really nice. And it's a very slick animation where the icons get smaller or bigger as they show up. So there's a whole bunch of apps here, a bunch of Google Fit related things. I don't know what all of this does. I don't really, yeah, so I'm not gonna set up Google Fit now. So there's a bunch of things. This app is also very specific to OPPO. So what this does is it's supposed to be a set of workouts that you can do in 5 minutes. So if you have like a break throughout the day or something, you can do like real quick exercises if you don't have a lot of time. So it's got these 5 routines that you can do, which is kind of interesting. So we're gonna go back there, and what else is here that I don't? So obviously there's a lot of Google apps. There's a Play Store, which is going to be useful if you want to get more apps. And that's very nice. I'm actually interested in seeing how big the Wear OS ecosystem is, because I don't have a lot of experience or any experience with Wear OS. So I'm interested in that. Another thing is this button. So I've been using the top one to open the app drawer, as you can tell. There you go. So the bottom one is what they call the multifunction button. And I assume that means it's programmable, but out of the box, what it does is that it opens these workouts, which are not the same as the 5-minute workouts. So you have these specific tracking modes: fitness run, fat burn run, outdoor walk, and cycling and swimming. So you can track those exercises specifically. I don't know if Google Fit doesn't provide these features by itself, but there you go. If you don't trust Google Fit, you can use OPPO's own tracking. I don't think there's a lot more that's unique about it. I do really love the display here, by the way. This looks beautiful. It's an AMOLED, like I said at the start, and it looks like it's really pushed up to the glass and just looks really nice. But yeah, really, I think that's all I can say, because also I really don't know a lot about Wear OS. So that's the settings app. It looks very usable. It's hard to imagine using this comfortably on a round screen, because everything kind of tends to get cut off everywhere. So I actually think this square sort of look is really nice, and that's why I like the Apple Watch design too. So I'm very excited to use this. So that, like I said, that's all I can say because I really don't know that much about smartwatches, especially Wear OS. But I will be wearing this for the next couple of weeks, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'm very excited to try it. So thank you for watching. I hope you like that video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.